it feels very magical in a way, and I really love that. It's a really good feeling. Hello there, great person, and welcome back to Let's Watch Some SteinsGate. Today we're at episode 12, which is unfortunately halfway through this show already. That's very sad. So last time it turned into Junji Ito. I love that. And let's see how it continues, because it starts to get really creepy, and I can't wait for more horror. They're doing a good job in making me think that everything's fine and dandy, and yeah, I don't think it is. So anyway, let's continue watching this great series, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll just start, have some fun, and here we go.
Doch ich frag mich, wer wir sind.
Okay. Oh god, are we gonna do the parasite worm thing again? Earth 70 million years ago. Looks like it was before life. I'm not that good in this biology stuff, like when what developed and evolved. So the question is though, why is he here? Did it go wrong and his mind got transported back into, I don't know, an ammonite or whatever they're called? Ooh, that's interesting. An hourglass. Oh god, that's so creepy. Imagine that. Send it to the past to fucking die. Oh, why? Oh god, why? Love? Friendship? I would, I do think I know what she means. So, if you time travel, you're like this up-to-date thing that travels back in time and updates yourself. And if he is impervious to memory changes, he would obviously always stay the same and not a copy. But the copy idea is there. Like, I talked about that. Like, no, I didn't really, because it didn't really come up. But it is the idea that if you time travel back and you change the world line, like, is that really another world line? Like, do you overwrite people? That's the question we haven't dealt with yet, so that might be. Yeah, what is even the original anymore? What's it called? Theseus' ship? The ship where you're like, if you replace every part of a ship with the same part, like the part of the same kind, is it still the same ship? And as the 12th Doctor so fittingly said, doesn't really matter if it still works the same. But yeah, with identity, that's a big thing. I have heard a very long talk once about the idea of identity. It was a philosopher that did the talk because it is very relevant in quantum physics and entanglement. So the idea of identity, like how do you even define it? What is an identity? And the interesting thing is the way they defined it is different from what I would have intuitively defined it as. And because they try to formalize it, because they want to be correct, which is very reasonable. And the result was very unintuitive, though, and very broad. So I don't know. So what is identity? I would be what would I say? Let's try to challenge me. What would I say is identity? I do think identity is the memories that I think I have. That is, I would say that's identity. The identity term by the philosopher was a lot more geared towards things as well, because obviously he tried to, I think, describe entangled photons. Are they like if is an entangled pair of photons two things or one? And I would say it's one from the mathematics, but yeah, anyway, that was a bit of a tangent. But so there are many Okurids and many Mayushis. Who are we following? And why are they there? Why? What are they trying to do? Save them from CERN? Oh, what? In the past? Wow. And I do think these are, and I might be mistaken, they look like particle traces, which might be the stylistic choice here, but they might also be debris coming closer to Earth and getting deeper into the atmosphere because it wasn't that thick. I don't know that. It's just a hypothesis from what I see here. But these are like particle traces. You can actually see them in the fog chamber. Every good science center, I do think, has a fog chamber. So if there's one around your place, you should definitely check it out. You can see decays. So what you see is alpha decay, beta decay. So you basically see helium nuclei, so the cores of helium atoms, or electrons and positrons, like creating these traces before they vanish. And it's very cool, and it looks exactly like this. So it's basically both. I mean, it's just, from a physics perspective, I would say that this is particle traces that they show here in the sky. Might be real big particles, or like parts burning up in the atmosphere, or might be real particles and they just want to symbolize it. And also it's like world lines as well. Like, oh my god, I didn't realize that before. That's so cool. It's not exactly the same because they're not branching particle traces really. They sometimes do, but not a lot. But you see this, like, this would be a particle, and here's the collision, like a billiard ball, and then it goes here, and there's another particle here. The same here. I do think that's what they try to show here. Anyway, they're not billiard balls though. Yeah, but on this, to describe this phenomenon, it's enough to think of them as billiard balls. There are phenomena where that model doesn't work anymore, obviously, many phenomena. But this is basically the simple middle school explanation of, like, there's a billiard ball, here's one, and it crashes and changes, here it changes again, anyway. It's their world line, so to speak. Yeah. Holy shit, man, why is she turning to dust, though? Man, there was these weird, trippy things in this anime. And there he is back in the blue sky. Yeah. That was really fucking creepy and weird, but also poetic in a way. I like that. But should they do that? Should they do that? And did he just see that, or was that like something we just saw? Because we also had the black hole girl. Was that also Mayoshi? I don't know. Okay. Oh, and there's the same hourglass, but it's now the same. The thing is, the other one was frozen, so to speak. So this one was going, which is interesting. Well, who's that cosplay for, though? For herself, I think. Oh no, for Komima, I remember, yeah. Why not? You're dressing up in a lab coat. It's interesting that she realizes that he's like completely away, like, or gone with his thoughts, like, because he just saw a dead head of a doll or whatever. She notices, I like that. She understands him a lot. Even though they are very surface level on first glance only, but they're very, like, their relationship is actually already pretty deep. I really like that. Also, back to, I just have, like, my mind wanders back to the time travel thing, 70 million years in the past. There are so many scary places time travel could take you. The far past where you will never see another human again, or the far future just before the Earth vanishes. However that's going to be. It might be a comet or an asteroid, might be a rogue black hole, might be a rogue star. Might be the sun eating, or not eating up Earth. It won't reach here, but like being so big that it's just burning everything to crisps. Interesting. Also, I'm so sorry. There's this, like, is this that the thing we saw in the beginning is that there is a world line where that happens? I mean, that has to be, obviously. So why? What makes that happen? I love that they never really explain what they do. It's just like some techno bubble mumbo jumbo that is very close to reality. It's so fun. So much fun.
LHC が使える今なら特にね。
Yeah, the shit you can do. Can't know. I like it. It's cool. It's cool. Let's just assume they can use the LHC. And no one's gonna notice of the 200 people that monitor it.
データ化する。容量にして。
That's an awfully... I thought that was the first two digits of pi, but it's not. That would have been a cool Easter egg.
アルファ。当然テラなんて容量は送れないから。
So what are you gonna do?
ブラックホールの力で圧縮。
That's not why it's called compression, Marcus. Why? No, don't do this to me. No, it's not a literal compression. Let's go with it. The scientist in me just committed seppuku with like every blade he had in his arsenal. Good God, man, it's not the same. Compress data, compress exclamation mark. That doesn't make your mumbo jumbo better. I love it. I love it. By the way, I'm just going to talk about it because you can't escape me. I mean, you can switch off the video, but you will miss out on very, very, very interesting content. Now, you know, it's just like, this is one of the biggest misconceptions, meta misconceptions in physics, literal interpretation of words. And finally, this isn't even a physics misinterpretation. It's a computer science misinterpretation. Like, yes, it's compressing, but it's not literally compressing. Like, you're not taking data and squishing it in your computer. Like, you know what I mean? So a black hole wouldn't do shit, I think. Like, why would it, what could the black hole do? I do think it would probably, like, if something comes out again, it would be elongated. So it is a redshift, like it's redshifting as shit, so you would like decompress it and not compress it. So at going in, I mean, whatever happens in the mumbo jumbo black hole. I love it though, it's so funny, man. It's such a cool, like, I love the creativity. I love the creativity. It's so good. Like, nothing of this works anymore, but it's so fun. Like, how would that even work? Let's put it down to very simple things. Let us say, like, bytes are zeros and ones, chains of zeros and ones. Let's say you have 8 places. It can be either 0 and 1 in in every place. That's 2 to the power of the number of places, which is not a lot. Like, how? Like, that's literally the information. You cannot condense the information into that. That's literally how information is defined, 0 or 1. You cannot compress it like that. It will get lost. You can't unpack it. Like, what the fuck is happening? I love it. It's so out there. It's so cool. What the fuck?
厳密には違うけど、まあイメージとしてはそういうことね。
Yeah, whatever suits your boat, Mike. Whatever.
送られる。そして。
And this person's telling me she understood her at middle school the papers of her dad. Yeah. You keep dreaming. I'm just kidding. I really fucking love that. Like, it's so cleverly written. It's so cleverly written. Please tell me as layman, was that something you were like, yeah, that sounds very reasonable? Like, I'm very interested in that. Please tell me in the comments, yes or no. You know what? After this episode, I will do a poll on the community tab of my channel. Please go there and please answer it. I want to see if you, when you first watched this, if you were like, yeah, the compression stuff, that sounds really reasonable. There's no shame in that. Absolutely none. Don't, like, but it's just like, I really want to know because these things are in my area of research. How would that work? You don't change the biology. What? Oh. Okay, so they hand wave it with saying don't go too far. I get that. Though 70 million years in the past is a bit more than 48 hours, so there will be a workaround, I think. But it's so interesting that they're still building stuff in their shed. Like, it's what the fuck? Like, how? It's so cool. I dreamt of that when I was a child. I actually dreamt when I was, I think, 7. I dreamt of building a car in my shed, or my father's shed, like a real car. Like, that made no sense to do. Like, I couldn't, obviously. I didn't even know what parts the car had. But man, I love this. Like, it's such a cool idea to just build something in your shed, and it's a bit magical. That's what I get from this, because for me, these science things are not in any way close to reality anymore. It feels very magical in a way, and I really love that. It's a really good feeling. It fits a lot with the slice of life stuff for me.
一つだけ問題が。
何？
電話レンジや
Yes.
誰かが被験者にならない限り。
Yeah, that's really fucked. Will Okabe do it? Will his, like, man, that could be so much Eldritch horror here. Like, his half brain could be like sand, and it would be mutant, half Okabe, and oh god, I hope they do that. Kinda, I really like horror like that. Like, came back wrong is a really cool trope.
この中の誰かが試してみなきゃいけないって。
Yes, she just said that.
岡部、あなたの意見を聞かせて。
Yeah, if it has to be done, he has to do it. Oh, that's so awesome as well. She basically told him, I want your real opinion, don't bullshit me here. I love that they have this understanding.
でもハッキングがバレた気配はないよ。
Why would they, like, if they invited you, the ops wouldn't tell you? I mean, God, man, fuck off with your stupid jump scare.
超越できるのか確かめてみたい気持ちはある。
You can't, yeah, perhaps, yeah.
さっきも言ったでしょ。バナナに記憶は。
Oh, yeah. Wow, okay.
このことは世間に公表する。
That is interesting.
しかるべき機関に託そう。
Yeah.
大賛成です。
But that is probably gonna backfire. Because if they could build it in their shed, and they're not that smart, like they're really smart, but they're not that smart, like every scientist that did some engineering probably could now replicate it, I think. So you're basically giving a nuke to everyone. Like, like, oh god.
ならなぜ納豆とひき肉がカゴに入ってる？
いろいろ合わせてみると美味しい。
What the frick are you doing? I love her cuisine. What?
わかる。
サラダならここに。
I mean, I have to be honest, I would try that. It sounds actually pretty cool.
まったくこれだから実験にしか興味のない男は。
I mean, cooking is a bit like experimenting as well. There's a physicist in Austria, I think, yeah, in Austria, that did write a book on the physics of cooking. And they, for example, did try to find out why a Google hoop, which is like basically like it's like a elongated donut shape of a cake, and if you make it, the raisins are always in a line in the center. And for a long time, no one knew why, and they baked many cakes in that lab to find out. And in the end, they figured out they had to like the dough had to be like mixed like this and not only like this, because then the raisin, like they would put in one thing, then the raisins, then another thing, and then they just did it like this, and so they just stayed in one layer. I know that was a very useless anecdote, but what I want to say is that cooking is a bit like physics. I really like baking and cooking as well. I'm not that good in cooking, I think, because my eyes, like my color blindness is sometimes affecting that a bit. Like, it's not that bad. But yeah, but I like baking because it's like a bit like chemistry, but with a bit of feel into it. So anyway, and in experiments you have to trust your feelings sometimes as well with measurements. Like, it's not like in school where you have something, you plug it in, it works. Or I mean, if you really know, even in school, things sometimes just don't work because of, I don't know, faulty conduction or whatever. But yeah, it's so interesting. But I also agree. I like to make like self-made food or like prepared food by other people a lot more than like this shit here. Hate that. I really do.
なんか病院から戻った猫みたい。
A bit though, yeah. That's so funny, man.
あんたならすぐタイムリープの実験をしようって言うかと思ってた。
Yeah, no, because he's not stupid.
そりゃあね。
Oh, she can't reach her Dr. Pepper.
眼的存在である。
That is true. Isn't every being we know? Oh, Heidegger. Good. I've not read a lot of Heidegger. I do think I know some Heidegger, but I don't know that it's by him, so I cannot comment on this.
多分みんなも一緒だったんじゃない。
Yeah, because it's really, really dangerous.
開発評議会だ。
Because the problem though is, did I talk about this in this reaction series about, I do think I did, the physicist of Dürren, but I do think I put it in like episode 1 or 2. If I didn't, there's another reaction where I talk about it. But it's this book called The Physicists. I really like it. We had to read it in school, and it was one of the only books I had to read in school that I absolutely loved. Like, it was a good book, very good. It's like 100 pages max. I think in English probably 60 or something. And it's about this physicist who basically found the world formula, the theory of everything. He found that, and he realized, and it's said during the war, like the Cold War. And he's afraid that the US and the UdSSR will get him for it and will like use it to make even more terrible nuclear weapons and beyond, like weapons beyond that. So he gets himself admitted to a loony home, like for like an insane asylum, a very calm one. And he's pretending to be a scientist. Like, I think he's pretending to. No, I do think he's called Mobius, and there are 2 other scientists that pretend to be, I think, Newton, and who was the other one, Galileo or something. In the end, it comes out. There comes something out. I will not spoil it because it's actually pretty fun. There's a big twist in the book, and now I spoiled that at least. So that's why it's a good book. There's a good twist in it, I think, and a very absurd twist as well. But I love both of them. But basically, in the end, what he thinks about the knowledge he gained is, and what he realizes is, even if he doesn't say anything, even if he says in that insane asylum, that knowledge exists because he put something together someone else can. So what he says is not once something has been written down, it can't be undone, but what his statement is basically, once something has been thought up, it can't be undone. Because, so to speak, we know, like, because it existed once, like someone drew some conclusions and they can be repeated. So that he discovered it here, someone else will. We don't know when, but someone else will, with all likeliness. So yeah, that's that one thing. But the other thing is exactly this responsibility he now has. He has like more than every nuclear weapon in the world. It's not presented as that yet. I hope that is presented in the future more. That it's like really fucking like devastating effects. He can unmake people. He can create or make like he can invest in stocks and stuff. Then like if it's real and if he can repeat it, like it's very powerful. And if everyone could do it, like there would be complete chaos. And I don't mean physics chaos. Like the whole world would just like all the world lines would like fizzle apart, and it would be like, I don't know.
ずっと前からやめるべきだと思っていたのか。
Yeah, perhaps she's his reason and his grounding.
私や岡部よりもあの子の方がいろいろ見えていたのかもね。
Yeah. Because Mayuri, in fact, is a very kind person as well, but very grounded, very down to earth, very in the present, living the little moments. And she's a bit of a moral idea here. I do think other people are as well. But Mayuri is basically a bit like his conscience, because you can't derive an ought from an it. You can't. So it's basically the idea that scientists are obviously doing their research, and what they're basically doing is creating tools. A researcher creates tools and sharpens them, metaphorically spoken. But But that, like, just because you can make tools doesn't mean you have a say or the control over how they are used. And that is always the thing. But I do think that's the risk. That's the risk. And I think I talked about that before as well. So if I bore you a bit, I'm sorry. But it's just, I think it's very important to understand that that these things are now on a scale where, like, let's take a hammer, for example, in the Stone Age. If there was a scientist, let's say, or an engineer who created a hammer first time, you can smack trees with it, animals or humans. And if it goes out of hand and there's someone who smacks humans and ends them, it's not as bad because it's small scale. If you create nuclear fission, you can do things like create energy, not create, you never create energy, save for perhaps in vacuum fluctuation, but that's beside the point. So like in normal layman knowledge, you don't create energy. Like, but you can use energy of an order you could never before to power things and to make the world a more clean and better place. Because in the end, nuclear reactors, though they are nowadays really, really fucking expensive, they're really clean, like greenest thing ever we have. I still hope for nuclear fusion because it's safer and the products that like the waste products are even better. But nowadays, I do think, as far as I know, nuclear reactors are pretty safe, very green, but very powerful. And the technology is in the H-bomb as well, and in the nuclear bombs. So, like, the tool can be used on a far larger scale, and it just goes more into that direction of scale. So one day we will have something that will either wipe out the solar system or propel us towards the stars. Like, probably. So, but is that the scientist's responsibility? And the thing is, that's why I love the book I just mentioned so much, is because it says, is it? You can try, like, it basically is like, you should try your best to hide it, if you think it's very terrible. You should perhaps also try to first create something that's of value and worthwhile and good and productive for humans, so to speak. And make sure to show how that is done with a good example. But in the end, even if you hold it back, someone else will develop it, and that person might be morally a lot worse than you are. Which is not saying that scientists are morally very good in all cases, obviously. Like, you might have a bad one from the get-go. But at least if the scientist thinks about that a bit, at least he can try to push the technology into a better direction than what would happen if it was rediscovered by, I don't know, an authoritarian tool of a scientist, for example, you know. And that's like, there's so much detail here in this one. I hope I didn't repeat myself too much. I'm sorry if I did. Like from other reactions. But how are you gonna go public? Also, you don't know the parameters really. Like, you don't know how it really is built. Or, I mean, they do, but I don't. So, man, that irks me so much. Why? You don't have to sign it with your name. Do it afterwards. That's a good leader, though. Looking out for his people. Oh, and she blushes, yeah. I love that he says that because he's in honest mode now. And now he will switch, I think. That's so sweet. He's gonna hug her, yeah. No, okay. Oh, he thinks like she's pretending that she has a fever. It's so sweet. Oh, that is so sweet. Oh, that's so cool, man. I mean, you broke the ice. You showed him you understood him, so it is kind of your fault. I love it. Yeah. I didn't think of it before, but what he's saying is very interesting. Your lab members you have to rely on your lab members if you do research. You have to. Like, if they fuck up, your project might die. Like, in the best case. And in the worst case, I mean, there are better cases, but or in the worst case, like, you might like release a deadly virus or I don't know, radiation poisoning like the whole city or something. You know, I'm exaggerating, but you know, your team has to work and you have to trust them. That pizza really, really looks good.
美味しくないよ。
それよりも、なぜ3枚とも同じ種類な
I always do that. Oh, it's salami, I think it's called in English as well. Olives, onion, and obviously tomato sauce and cheese. This, like, if this pizza would have switched this with ham, that's the pizza I always order, and my wife as well.
趣味。
Without the olives because they're too expensive. But I mean, I'm not that. That's like a bit wasteful.
全力で力の限り。オカリン、ラボメンはオカリンが。
Oh, that's so far. What? Oh, that was a nice comic. Man, the jokes are very well prepared.
本来なら。
アーディッシュ忘れたわ。らっきょで代用す
Oh my god.
食事が終わったら故郷に帰って結婚。
How though?
カットすぐにキッチンへ
Oh, okay, she said. Man, these dashes at the end of sentences make me anxious now.
まゆしも唐揚げ。
Oh yeah, those two are real. Like, they have to talk. I want them to talk. I need that. I mean, she's a lab member. Yeah, like.
むしろあなたこそなんでここに
ラボメンだからだよ。
Oh god, is this gonna be a pissing contest?
ただこの人が変な言いがかりをつけてくるだけ。
Yeah, but why?
じゃない、事実だよ。
何その自信満
Yeah, what makes you should tell it?
ない。でもそうなる。
Oh, yeah.
私は君のことを君以上に知ってる。
Does she though? Ooh, we're getting into the question of, are you determined by your biology or your circumstances? Like, because you could now argue, no, you might know another time where the circumstances have driven her to something. Aha, that was a male. Anyway, I do think from all the data we have, it's basically biology gives you a window of trait expression. For example, from shy to like not very outgoing, or from like very outgoing to like a bit outgoing. It's not fixed. It's like an area where your personality, for example, is, or your IQ is, and then depending on what you do and how you act, you will develop in one or the other direction. And I do think that's very important because personality traits are very deep rooted. Not ideas, but things about us that drive our actions. So I don't know if she's right here. I would argue she's not, even if she is from the future and saw her turn into a spy.
が破綻しすぎてて何言ってるのかさっぱりわ
It's
か
not
る
even a theory, it's just spouting stuff.
すずさん。
So what might have happened is that she broke off with her father for some reason, or her father drove her to become evil. I do think that's a possible future scenario. So if Ocarine does stop that, yeah.
俺はお前をそのように育てた覚えはない
Raising you, what the fuck?
サイエンティストを目指す上で最も大切なことを教え
Yeah, I don't think this is the time.
には忠告したよね。マキセ・クリスには気をつけろ。
Are they gonna now have a I don't know, illegal cockfight? Do they have roosters somewhere? That would be fun.
ないが
でも否定もしなかったよね。
いやそれは
And now he's between two chairs, as the German would say. I don't know if that saying exists in English, but
なら貴様がやってみろ大体
Makise could do it though. Yeah. See, she can calm the situation, hopefully. Oh.
に好きなわけじゃ。みんなでいるときは。
That would be so cool if it worked that well all the time. Man. But it doesn't. That's so sad though. I wonder if that game they're playing all the time really exists.
迷ったら攻める。それが私のモット
Yeah, I do think we saw that.
天音正直すぎ。
おかりん、すずさんかわいそう。
Why is she so direct and honest, though? If she is, I know it's just hypothesis, all of it. If she's from a weird future or something, shouldn't she be very weary and sneaky? Who raised her? Is Ocarina her dad? I don't know. I somehow feel he is.
そっちの隅っこに並んでるやつ
I wouldn't mind as well. Like, sometimes I don't like everyone suddenly related, but here, yeah. Haha, Makise knows Ocarina too bad for you, man.
礼は言わないよ。
That's so cool, man.
すずさんと仲良くなってまゆしは嬉しい。
That's good. That's
別に
good.
仲良くなったわけじゃないけど
But sometimes you have to have this mediator. I think in arguments, you have to have that. As I said last time, it won't always work if the argument is too bad and too deeply rooted in things. But like, if you argue among friends, one friend that might go like, yeah, let's look at it both ways and stuff, that can really help. I've seen that.
なんかその時だけ岡部が神妙な
Yeah, because he really cares for her.
ブライト選手よ。己が能力で勝ったのではない。
He lost again. So sad, man.
ちょっと見てきたらこっちは
Oh yes, I need a Mayuri talk now. Because that's... Oh, it's frozen now. Oh, why is it frozen now? That's so weird. Also, is Mayuri... Like, is that a symbol? Like, is the thing a symbol for that? Why does he have a lightsaber? That's a lightsaber you have there.
伝統代わりに使うな。
明るいのに。
It's so cool, I want one. When I was a child, I always wanted one. I never got one. Because they were rare and pretty expensive.
だな。
楽しいよ。ピザも美味しかっ
I love Star Wars so much, man. When it was still having writing that was not... Whatever. Let's focus on something with good writing here.
た。椅子でしょ？それから食器も足りない
Ooh,
し。
I see. So are they... Yeah.
何らかの形で謝礼は入るだろ
Oh god, mate, please don't be naive again. Please don't tell me this is what you want. Oh god.
椅子と食器買える？
It would be nice though. It would be nice if the world was like this.
じゃあ電子レンジも。
Microwave that actually works.
う。どうしよう。
She just wants to have a normal life with her friends and family, so to speak.
ラボはいつも静かで、
Because it was only him.
それが今では誰か
I love that he has so many friends.
すずさん、萌香さん。
What I'm just thinking about is... So Daku did come in as well. So these are the two original ones, if I understood it correctly. Why? What's their relationship? It's almost like brother and sister. Oh god.
ブラウン店長さん。
I mean, Mr. Brown and Nathan are not really part of the lab.
大丈夫だね。マユシーが人質じゃない。
Why hostage? What? That's so weird. Why are the shots so weird? Man, this is getting so creepy again.
大変！電車止まってる！
Trains have stopped.
テロの予告なんて迷惑よね。
They cause so much trouble. Like, if they follow through on their threats, they don't cause trouble. It's horrifying.
なぜ急にその話題なん？
セルンのハッキングは続けてるの？
I mean, they're allowed to, so I do think it's okay to hack into CERN.
セルンと直接回線で繋がったんだ。
Oh, I would have told her sooner, probably. Oh, they're being spied on. Uh-oh. They're being spied on. Yeah. Brilliant.
みんな、今すぐ。
Oh god, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Oh god, fuck, man, what's happening? Oh, it's getting weird again. Will you see that it's frozen now? Manage his heartbeat, yeah. Why is it frozen though? The time is getting out of hand. Oh, that's so weird. Oh, God. Time has stopped. But what does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? Oh my God, it's so eerie. What's gonna... Oh, it's widows. It's widows! Okay, so we've got widows with masks. Brilliant. It's not as scary as I thought it would be. At least it's not like really weird stuff. What was that? At least Suzuhara did piss off. Oh, is it Moeka? Are we finally gonna see that it's Moeka? I knew it was her. That was so fucking obvious. I hope you don't expect me to be shocked here. I mean, I saw that coming a mile away. Is he gonna talk normally now? I knew that. Yes? That's gonna be fun. That's a good halfway point. Oh, is she gonna kill her? She's gonna kill her. She's gonna kill her. Yep. Bye. Oh, bye, Yuri. Oh, God. That is so fucked. Oh, God. Poor FB. Okay. Did she shoot her in the head? Oh, God. What the fuck happened? So CERN can stop time and she just lost her brain. Oh, my fucking God. Yeah, how about going back now, mate? You weren't quick enough by making it public. Like, I would have immediately posted on the forum, whatever.
Marty.
I'm not sad because I know he will reverse it, you know? Otherwise, I would be very shocked. That's really fucked up, though. Like, his conscience just died, so to speak, and his best friend. Oh, what was that? What was that? Why? What was that? Oh, good God, man. This is so random. That it's not random, but it's so evil. It's such an evil, evil show. Oh my God. You know, the only thing why I'm not in any way emotionally invested in her death is because I know she will come back. Like, because she said there were a million copies of her. Someone has to go back a bit earlier than this. Also, I fucking called that Moeka stuff. I fucking called it. Man, it was so brain dead of him to do all that. Anyway, that was... Oh, God. Oh, Jesus Christ, what's gonna happen now? I really like Moeka's suit, though. It really suits her. So we've got certain bad guys with weird masks. I mean, I'm really, 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 really intrigued what happens next. Like, I can't wait. It's so cool. I'm not sad and not really, like, I'm not really that shocked because they had it coming a mile away. Like, they were so careless, so naive, and they now got what they had coming. So sad, though. So they just have to find another time machine. Also, Suzuhara did piss off in the right time because she realized they were spied on. So she will probably save them. I mean, I hope she smacks Moeka in the face. Do you think Moeka was too obvious? I think she was a bit too obvious. They had me doubting myself, though, in that one episode where I thought she did send a normal message back. But yeah, she was so fucking obviously evil. Even though I doubt it, but yeah. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the reaction. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.